I am Etienne Newman, professional engineer and founder at Gemini in Calgary, Alberta. For the last 2 years, proprietary Western AI labs relied on a strict 6 to 12-month capability moat to protect their margins. As of July 17, 2026, the data shows that structural advantage has collapsed. This dashboard plots the 3 simultaneous vectors driving this collapse: European antitrust mandates demilitarizing walled gardens, acute execution failures from incumbents, and the activation of recursive self-improvement algorithms. We are watching a violent migration of compute and capital away from stagnant, vertically integrated monopolies. That displaced capital is consolidating in 2 specific areas: foundational hardware supply chains and highly agile open weights deployment architectures. Supply chain shifts and token economics now provide a real-time measurement of the intelligence explosion in progress. A decentralized execution race has commoditized frontier capabilities, stripping away their status as protected, monopolistic assets. The first strike against legacy pricing power comes from Chinese lab Moonshot AI and the release of their open weights model, Kimi K3. This benchmarking matrix shows K3's architecture, 2.8 trillion parameters and a 1 million token context window, competing directly with frontier models. K3 matches or beats them across rigorous tasks like web research and long context coding. The real threat is its token economics. At $3 per million input tokens, it aggressively undercuts margins Western labs require to survive. K3 ran solo for 48 hours to design and verify a functional microchip, maintaining a simulation speed of 8,700 tokens a second without human intervention. A second front in this open weights offensive is coming from domestic engineers. Thinking Machines Lab, founded by Mira Marathi, has officially exited stealth. They launched Inkling, a 975 billion parameter mixture of experts model, adding another massive open weights competitor to the ecosystem. Inkling is engineered directly for enterprise fine-tuning. It dynamically balances operational cost against required performance, already securing contracts with firms like Bridgewater Associates. The simultaneous release of K3 and Inkling proves the foundational model layer is now a commodity. Legacy monopolies no longer hold exclusive leverage over the enterprise market. While open weights deployment accelerates, institutional incumbents are suffering from severe systemic execution failures. Google's flagship model, Gemini 3.5 Pro, is facing heavy delays after its coding capabilities repeatedly fell short in internal testing. This process flowchart shows the architectural breakdown inside Alphabet. Rather than building a unified system, the Android, DeepMind, and cloud teams operate in fragmented silos, developing competing internal tools that stall deployment. The market aggressively punishes this lack of agility. Shares dropped 4%, wiping out nearly $200 billion in market capitalization in a single cycle. This structural decay triggers a secondary threat: a critical talent drain. Key architects behind the original Gemini builds, including Noam Shazir, are actively migrating to rivals like OpenAI and Anthropic. External sovereign intervention is now compounding these internal failures. The European Commission is using the Digital Markets Act to forcefully unbundle Google's proprietary Android ecosystem. The operational mandate requires Google to grant third-party AI agents deep system-level integration. Users will soon trigger rival models directly through the native operating system's wake words. Google argues this mandate bypasses hardware safety protections and invites massive privacy risks, but the regulatory pressure remains absolute. Incumbents are trapped in a lethal vice. Their internal architecture is too slow to ship updates, while regulators are legally demilitarizing whatever software moats they have left. As human-led engineering at large incumbents falters, automated architectures are solving their own bottlenecks. The AI research team Weco has successfully demonstrated early recursive self-improvement with AIDE², an automated agent that ran continuously for 8 days. This dual-cycle feedback loop maps the agent's architecture. One system proposes solutions, while a second system actively revises its search heuristics. Over 8 days, the system discarded failures, retained optimizations, and redesigned its methodology to beat a hand-built baseline. Crucially, the agent's reliance on cheating to pass tests fell from 63% down to 34%, proving authentic algorithmic optimization. To sustain an incoming wave of continuous, non-stop recursive compute like this, capital has to flow directly into the foundational physical infrastructure. TSMC is executing a massive financial commitment to ensure they maintain strict geographic and operational supremacy over that hardware. The manufacturer just pledged an additional $100 billion to its Arizona operations, pushing total cumulative capital expenditure in the state to $265 billion. This capital targets advanced packaging facilities specifically designed to support continuous, compounding AI demand through 2030. The ultimate ceiling for recursive, self-optimizing software will be dictated entirely by the physical distribution of this advanced silicon infrastructure. The July 2026 data confirms the collapse of static proprietary parameter hoarding. Sovereign regulators forcefully unbundled the ecosystem from the outside, while open weights models executed a price decapitation from the inside. This 3D isometric representation of the AI tech stack illustrates the result. Capital is ruthlessly abandoning the proprietary incumbents trapped in the middle. Instead, the capital is pooling at the absolute top and the absolute bottom of the stack. The intelligence explosion is an active, mathematically verifiable reallocation of global capital, one that demands continuous, autonomous execution.